All right, welcome back to episode 5. As I bring you guys with me on my cargo van business journey. Um, this I think is probably one of my most important videos. I actually took today off to make this video. I really want to get it out because I know there's a lot of people that's anxious to get started or really curious about startup costs and what it takes to get your own cargo van business going. So basically, I'm just gonna talk about the steps that I took, everything that I did, the order that I did it, how much everything cost, and then also what I would recommend you do step by step, just based on my experience. If I could do it all over again, I'm gonna let you know what I think I should have did and what you should do to make it as easy as possible. So basically, I used to drive for a delivery company. I used to deliver expensive beds for Sleep Number. Probably heard of it. I think Dak Prescott has a couple commercials. Very expensive bed, moves up and down, all that stuff. Great job, made decent money. I think the most we got paid is $150 a day. And that's if you work 8 hours. If you get 8 hours, it was an hourly job. So 150, that's the most you can make. Obviously here, now that I'm doing gig apps, I can make as much money as I want. I don't have to stop at 150. I can keep going, that's one of the luxuries to this job. So I had always been interested in cargo van, and the only reason I chose cargo vans because I know that it's the least expensive and the least amount of regulations that you have to deal with. Obviously, the bigger and heavier your vehicle, the more you're going to be regulated. So cargo van is a great way to start to get in the trucking industry. And I'm actually glad I chose it. I think I'm going to stay in this business because, it's, to me, it's the least amount of headache that I have to deal with. So long story short, like I said, I don't want to keep this video too long. I just want to get right to the point. So basically what I did, the very first thing I did was purchase my vehicle. So it's going to take time to find the right vehicle. I would say don't rush. Take your time. Don't just buy anything. So you'll hear people say, buy a used one with 150,000 miles on it, all that. If you can, buy a brand new van. But if not, if you have to go used, try to get one with the least amount of miles. When you're first starting off your business, you really do not want to buy a vehicle that's going to give you problems mechanically. So the very first thing I did, I purchased my van. It took me about 2 months to find it. And when I found that one, I fell in love with it. I test drove it, everything, I think it's a 2020 and it has 20,000 miles on it. So it was not used very much. It was in excellent condition. So the amount of money I spent is, I almost could have bought a brand new van for that price, but this one was such good condition. I really fell in love with it. I went ahead and bought it. So I had saved up enough money for a down payment, and I had about $15,000 saved up. So when I bought the van, it was $54,000. I put $15,000 down, so I owed around $40,000, and I financed it with the dealer, and then I refinanced it with my bank to get a lower payment. So my first payment when I first bought it was about $1,200 a month, which is ridiculous. I think it was like 14% interest rate or something like that, something crazy. But I didn't really care because I knew I was going to refinance it anyways. So I refinanced it with my bank, got it down to like a 3.4, 3.7, and now I'm paying about $600 a month. So cut that payment in half. And so $54,000 for the van. I owe about $40,000 on it. That was the very first thing I did. I bought the van. The second thing I did is I got my EIN number. So I watched a ton of YouTube videos, and I took a little bit of information from everyone I listened to, and the order that I did things is based on videos that I watched and what I felt was right. So there really is no right or wrong answer of how to do things, but like I said, just based on my experience, I'm going to let you know at the end what I think you should do to make it as smooth as possible. So I got my EIN. EIN is basically it's like a social security number, but for a business. So when you own a business, you want to get your EIN. You get it off. You can get it directly from the what is it called? IRS. I'm sorry, the IRS. So I'm not going to go in great detail about that stuff because I'm actually just going to put a link in the description of people that I watched to get this information. A lot of them are great. They show you step by step how to do it. Most importantly, EIN is free. So that's basically your social security number. So when you file your taxes for your business, you want to use your EIN number. All right. So link is in the description. You can follow that video or you could choose one, whatever one you want, but it's a ton of information on that online already. So I got my EIN and then I got a registered agent. Registered agent, you're required to have that. So if you do start a business and LLC, you do have to have a registered agent. So there's a ton of them. Like I said, all this stuff you can literally Google it. Whatever state you're in, just Google it, and a bunch of them will pop up. The average price for a registered agent is anywhere from 20 to even all the way up to $100. For me, mine is in Texas, and they're $35 a year. So basically, registered agent is very important. You do not have to have one. You can actually be your own registered agent, but I think it's better to have one because your mailing address. So when you start your business, your address is public. So if you use your home address as your business address, that's going to be public record. And you got to remember, you're a legit business. So if anybody wants to sue you or has an issue with you, they look up your business and there's your home address. So a lot of people will use a registered agent address, which they allow you to do. And that's your business address. So when people look up your business, that's what's going to show up. But it's totally up to you. You can use your home address. No issues with that, but it's mainly for mail as well. So if you get tax information or any important documents that need to get to you, especially your taxes, your franchise tax board, they're going to send you. You have to pay taxes on your business every year, and you don't want to miss those payments. So they'll send it to your registered agent, and they'll remind you. So that way, you have enough on your table already. It'll help you remember, important documents that's coming from the state. So they'll handle all your mail and keep you up to date on everything that you need to as far as keeping your business from getting in trouble, basically. So registered agent, mine's $35. You're gonna need that. And then of course your LLC. More than likely, you're gonna start off just you by yourself, no drivers and all that. So you'll start your business as a sole proprietor or individual, and which the LLC is basically your limited liability company. It just protects you, your assets, your personal items because you are a business. So let's say you get in a car accident and you injure someone, they cannot go after your personal assets. They can only go after your business. So that's what protects you, your business. That you also get through the state, whatever state you're in, it's going to be through the Secretary of State, and it costs $300 here in Texas. I don't know how much it costs in other states, but you're going to need. It's going to be about $300 roughly, or it might be more depending on where you're at. Once you get it though, you're good. You don't have to pay renewal fees or nothing like that, and you get your certificate of formation. That's a great feeling to get that because when you get that certificate, it just shows that you're legit. Like you're up and running, you're a legitimate business, and the state recognizes your business. There was something else I was going to say about that. Oh, so your LLC, when you're going to have to pick a business name, and if you do it on the website, the Secretary of State website, it's going to charge you $1 for every time you search. So I believe it's called Taylor Brands, And you'll see, if you Google LLC, how to get it, you'll see a bunch of stuff pop up. I believe if you go on Taylor Brand website, you can search for a business name for free. So you do have to have a name that's unique. It cannot be the same as someone else in your state. Um, all right, so enough on that. I put a link in the description on the brother that I listen to. He showed me step by step how to do it. He's on YouTube, and I'm gonna just leave it there because, like I said, I don't. This video is already 10 minutes. I'm not trying to be that long, but check out his video. He'll show you step by step how to do it. Next, I filled out my application for FMCSA. That's the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. They regulate all trucking businesses, courier services. It is federal mandated. There's certain things that you absolutely have to do to be legal. We are talking about cargo van. And in the cargo van business, you're not as regulated as everyone else. Your vehicle more than likely is going to be under 10,000 pounds. So it's a lot of things that you can omit or not worry about. But there are certain things that you do have to do because you are a commercial vehicle courier service. All right. So the first thing is a DOT. Do you need a DOT? So it's all kind of different answers. When it comes to that, I did my own research. I actually even read it on the FMCSA website. So if I'm wrong, correct me, but I believe I'm pretty accurate on this. If you are not planning on going out of state, your vehicle is under 10,000 pounds, you do not need a DOT. You do not need an MC number. Okay, you can actually operate without any authority at all. It is safer to get a DOT. I don't know why, but even the website, it encourages you to get a DOT. The DOT, my understanding, is absolutely free. It doesn't cost anything. It's just the way that FMCSA tracks your business, and they, you get in an accident or tickets and all that stuff, they keep track of that using your DOT number. It's like an ID number for your business. You do not need one. You do not have to get one. I recommend, because it's free, I would get it just to be safe. So that's just my opinion. But as far as the MC, that costs $300, or at least here in Texas. I think that's any state. It should be $300. And that you do need only if you are transporting out of state. So you have intrastate is when you're only running loads in your state. You're not crossing state lines. You do not need an MC. If you plan on going out of state, which I highly recommend because that's where the most money is, you're going to need an MC. So that's what's going to get you your own authority. The benefit to having an MC is that when you grow your business and you hire drivers, they can drive your vehicle or they can bring their own vehicle and they can operate under your MC. So you hire them as a driver under your MC, and that's how you make money. So it doesn't hurt to get it. Me personally, I want to own my business all the way. I want to go all the way. Like, I'm doing the DOT, I'm doing the MC, I'm doing everything I could do. All right, because I'm thinking about the future. So it does, for the MC, it takes about 21 days to go active. And there's a lot of things you need to do during that 21 day period. All right. So one thing I'm going to add to that, since we're speaking of DOT and MC, if you do not want to run loads, like you don't want to do load boards or anything like that, you want to kind of do the gig app thing for a little bit, this will save you some money and help you kind of get your feet wet in this business. You do not have to get commercial insurance. So a lot of these gig apps, like I use Dispatch and GoShare, Curry, those businesses, they actually have their own cargo insurance. So you do not need commercial insurance. You can actually operate with regular insurance, like wherever you have right now. You could just add your van and just have the minimum state requirement. Whatever your state requires the minimum insurance to be, That's all you need. So it'll save you a ton of money. If you're not going to be running loads anytime soon, just get regular insurance. All right. So I just wanted to make sure you understand that. But if you do plan on running loads right away, and you're going to get your DOT and MC, FMCSA requires you to have $300,000 in general liability and $5,000 in cargo. That's the absolute minimum. Most companies that I've seen that you find online when you're job searching, they're going to want you to have $1 million in general liability and $100,000 in cargo. That insurance payment is going to be high, which I'll go over that later. But like I said, if you're just interested in doing little side jobs, little gig apps and stuff like that, you do not need that. You can use regular insurance, or you can still get commercial insurance, but you can get the bare minimum. That's what I have right now. I have $300,000 general liability and $5,000 in cargo. All right, because like I said, when I work for dispatch, that cargo is under their insurance, not mine. All right. Next, I got a BOC3, which that's for interstate only. So if you're traveling interstate, not intrastate, meaning you're staying in your state, but you're going to go out of state, you need a BOC3. And it costs $35 a year. I don't know if that's everywhere, but I know here in Texas, when I got mine, it's $35 a year. I don't want to go in great detail about these things. If you're not sure about what BOC3 is, Google it, because like I said, I'm really trying not to make this video too long, because it's, I know it's hard to keep people's attention for a long period of time. So BOC3, that's what I got next. It's $35 a year. You will need that if you're going to go out of state. A UCR number, Unified Carrier Registration Number. I'm sorry, not a number, but you will have to fill out that form, and there are companies that fill it out for you and submit it to the FMCSA, and that's only if you have an MC number. So if you do not have an MC number, you do not need a UCR. That one cost me $98, and the BOC3 and the UCR are every year you have to pay. So $35 a year and $98 a year for the UCR. MCS 150 form also needs to be submitted every 2 years, and I believe it's already filed when you first submit your application. I have to check on that, but that has to be updated every 2 years, and that form is basically keeping your DOT up to date. So like, I'm not gonna go in great detail about that stuff. I'm just letting you know what you need to do, so there's no surprises. And then last, I have BMC 91, which is a form that your insurance. So when you get commercial insurance, you need to let them know, hey, I'm about to be running loads. I applied with FMCSA for a motor carrier number, and I need to submit a BMC 91. They already know what it is, and basically all it is it's the way FMCSA verifies that you have commercial insurance, at least the bare minimum. You cannot submit it yourself. Your insurance company has to submit it directly to FMCSA. That's just how they verify that you're legit, your insurance is good. All right. And then last, I got a letter from the Franchise Tax Board, which that's something that you'll have to pay every year. You do have to pay franchise tax. And one secret, I know it's not that much. I think it's, I don't know, 1 point something percent, 2%, something like that. I won't know till later on, because like I said, I'm still new at this, but you will have to pay franchise tax, business tax. And one little secret that I didn't know, I actually was just kind of browsing through the website, and I saw that if you are a veteran, a military veteran, and you have a honorable discharge, there's a form that you can fill out, and it'll allow you to, you won't have to pay franchise taxes for 5 years. So I actually filled that form out. I submitted it already. It takes about 30 days to process, so I will let you know if that's legit. I don't really want to share it too much because if it's not legit, then it's not worth sharing. But I did see that option. I filled it out. I'm testing it now. So if that's legit, absolutely. If you're a veteran, veteran-owned business, you do not have to pay franchise tax for 5 years, the first 5 years. So that's a great savings. And then last, what I have not done yet, but is what I'm going to do next, is a Dun and Bradstreet number. It's a lot of stuff, man. But so Dun and Bradstreet, I just learned this. So basically, that's how you build business credit. So basically, you'll get like a business credit card, and you use it to build your business credit. So I'm kind of like debating if I want to do that now because I want to wait till I kind of grow my business more. I don't think I really need business credit yet. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I believe it's free to get that number. So, but those are the steps that I took. And so far, everything's working out. One thing I will say is that I do have a passive income that I get every month. It's about $1,000 a month. And I did take that in consideration when I purchased my van. So you do have to think about that. I wanted to buy a van around $35,000. I ended up spending $54,000. So you're gonna set a price, but I looked at vans that were $35,000, and I'm like, that thing's not gonna last 6 months. So be smart about it. You might have to really spend some money, but be smart about it. If you know you can't afford it, don't do it. Save your money. Just save. Be patient. Honestly, if you could save $40,000 and just buy it cash, that'll save you so much headache. But more than likely, the average, most people, you gotta finance it. So just be smart about it. Think about your payments and make sure it's something you can afford. But the newer, the better. You can get used, but you don't want to get one with, 100,000 miles. I do not recommend that. All right, it does work out for some people, but yeah. So, anyways, let me just go over the cost real quick. And this video is getting long. I'm sorry. I'm trying to close it out. But so my cost, I spent $54,000 minus $15,000 that I put down. So we're looking at about $40,000. My insurance, when I first got my insurance, I got the $1 million insurance only because there was a company I had signed up with that I was gonna run loads with. But I ended up not running loads because, the timing wasn't right. My wife didn't really want me traveling out of state yet. So I did get that insurance. And I went with, when you search for commercial insurance, I don't even know what to say on that. There's so many different avenues and people pay so many different prices. I've seen people say they pay like $600 a month. I've seen people say they pay $1,400 a month. It all depends on, when you're a new authority, it's going to be high. If you got a lot of accidents and tickets, it's going to be high. Fortunately for me, I have a clean record. I am a new authority, so, my payments are a little higher, but I think I got a pretty good deal. So even the $1 million insurance, it's $1 million and $100,000 in cargo. That was $800 a month, $8,000 a year. I think that's pretty good because, like I said, I've seen people that pay $12,000 to $14,000 a month commercial insurance. So I started off with that, and I had to put $836 out of pocket down just to get it started. So that was my deposit, and then I spent my LLC cost $300, and my registered agent was $35. My MC was another $300. My BOC3 was $35, and my UCR was $98. Then I bought supplies for my van. Got most of my supplies off of Amazon and Walmart. And I purchased gloves, dolly, reflective vest, because there are some, when you do loads, you might go to warehouses and places where you have to wear a vest and a helmet. So I got a reflective vest, a helmet, fire extinguisher, very important, bungee cords, tie-down straps, blankets. I bought a dash cam, and I tinted my windows. So all of that, I spent about $1,200 on supplies. Keep all your receipts. That's a whole separate video. Keep receipts for everything. And I'm still debating if I want to get a ramp. I was thinking about getting a ramp so I can, maybe like haul a motorcycle or something like that in my van. But I'm gonna hold off on that for now. So about $1,200. So my total out of pocket that I spent out of my own pocket to get everything I need to get started was about $18,000. So with that being said, my recommended startup is $20,000 at minimum. Absolute minimum, I think you should have that. And I'm not talking about just you having your savings account and that's for a rainy day or emergencies only. I'm talking about $20,000 that you don't mind losing. Like you might lose it. This might not work out for you, and you have to be willing to eat that cost. 20,000, I think, is a great minimum. 40,000 would be even better, because if you could buy a van and pay it off, like not have any loan payment, that's going to save you a ton of money. And that's my goal right now. I'm trying to pay off my van. That's the number one goal. Pay it off. Once I pay it off, those profits are going to really start growing. So my van payment every month is about $600 a month, and my insurance right now is about $400 a month. So I'm paying about $1,000 a month. And as I said before, I do have a passive income that I get every month. So I do not have to spend 1 cent on my loan or insurance, which is great for me. Everyone doesn't have that, everyone might not have that ability to do that. If you do not have another source of income and you're going to, pay for everything with the work that you do in that van, I would recommend expediting. You want to do expedite loads. That's the most money you're going to make. That's where you can make $2,000 to $4,000 a week. You're going to have to be willing to go out of state and be gone for 2-3 weeks at a time. You're going to put a lot of wear and tear on that van, but you can make a significant amount of money and hopefully pay that vehicle off as quickly as possible. That's another subject. We'll get on that another day. If you do not, I don't know if I said this or not, but if you do not plan on doing loads and you're just going to do gig apps, you do not need commercial insurance. I feel like I said that already, but I just want to make sure you know that. Regular insurance, you're good to go. I did say that. I remember now. So my total debt right now is $40,000 with the van, and that's it. I spend about $480. I just kind of tallied it up. I spend about $120 a week on gas, which is about $480 a month. So that's my expenses. No maintenance problems yet. I mean, your routine oil changes, stuff like that. I mean, that's going to be $40, $50, whatever. I'm gonna get my tires checked out, tires rotation, brake pads, stuff like that. But I mean, that's not every week. That's not every month. That's every now and then. I have a separate account that I save money in just for vehicle maintenance. You want to be organized, organized in all your finances. So that's that. The last thing I want to end this video is getting way too long. This is what I recommend. If I could do it all over again, this is what I recommend. Watch as many videos as you can, learn as much as you can. Like, you just gotta really fill your brain up with everything cargo van. That's like, if you watch my YouTube feed, is nothing but cargo van stuff. Cause my heart is in it. Like, this is what I want to do. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. Like, I'm like full steam going forward. Do as much research as you can. Secondly, research your area. So wherever city or state you're in, do your research. See if these apps are even in your state. See, search Indeed Simply Hire, Glassdoor, all these little job search websites. Go on them and type in cargo van jobs or you know, cargo van expediting, stuff like that. Search your area and see if anybody's hiring. See how many there are. If it's a lot, that's a great sign, because you don't want to get into this business and then find out that there's no jobs where you live. So do your research and I actually did this. Call these companies. So when you're doing your search, you don't have to have a van. You could just call them and ask them questions. Ask them, hey, you guys hire cargo van loads. Like, what type of loads are? How much money can I make? Like, ask whatever you want. You'll be surprised. Some people are, they're very, they like when you're interested like that, and they'll remember your name. Give them your name. Let them know, hey, I'm working on buying a van. I'm going to call back. I want to apply. That's going to help you. It helped me. That's how I got that first job. I never ran a load for them yet, but I bugged the heck out of them. I called them. I asked all kind of questions. What type of van should I get? How much money can I make? And how busy is it? Can I get work every day or weekly, whatever? Ask those questions. Do your research. Be prepared and know your market. Like, know what type of work is out there. Second and thirdly, network. Like, networking, that's my thing right there. Like, there's so many people that do this job all around you, and you just don't even, like, I never even noticed how many cargo vans are in my neighborhood until I started doing this job. Now they're everywhere. So I go to the gas station, I see somebody in a cargo van, I go talk to them, ask them what type of work they do, how they get started, all that stuff. You never know. Networking is extremely important. Really quick story, I gotta tell this. It's amazing. Like, I literally, a week after I bought my van, I go to Walmart to go buy supplies for it, and I see this ProMaster pull up. Two brothers get out, and they they put a bunch of boxes on a dolly and start walking in. And I'm like, I started not to say nothing, but let me talk to this dude. So I go talk to him, and basically he says, oh yeah, I have a contract, and I do, I have a route that I do, and one of the stops is Walmart's. We deliver to the pharmacy. So I end up getting the guy's number, and literally 1 week after I talked to him in that Walmart, I was doing that route. He let me do that. Since I had my own van, he let me do the route for a whole week, just so I could see what it's like, because I wanted to, see what is it like to have your own contract and have a route that you're responsible for, a dedicated route, which is something that a lot of people want to get into, because it's more, you're more consistent work. You're guaranteed to work, guaranteed to get paid X amount of money. So it was like, it almost brought me to tears, man. Like, I was like, I can't believe I literally just talked to this guy at Walmart, and here I am a week later doing that job. So networking, I'm telling you, like, you got to talk to people, and you'll be surprised at who will help you. That one person might just change everything for you. I recommend having your money up front. So if you're going to buy a van, if you can save enough to buy it cash, you want to have as little debt as possible. I know that's not possible for some people. You just have to get a loan. If you absolutely have to get a loan, if you can, I would have a business partner. Try to get either your parents or grandparents, someone that you trust and someone that trusts you to buy that vehicle for you. I'd rather pay a family member back than a bank, because a bank, that payment, you're going to have to make it every month. You might have a rough start, and your family will understand, especially if you explain what you're trying to do. They're kind of like a business partner until you pay them off. I've seen people do this. Like, the dad bought the van, the son drives it, he pays the dad, a percentage every week or every month, and before you know it, he paid dad back $40,000. You're good now, That will definitely help you, especially if you get in tough times. Business is tough, and you might have to, you might not make a lot of money one month or 1 week, so It gives you a little more leeway when it comes to monthly payments. Um, Take your time when you buy a van. Don't just buy anything. Take your time. Get one that you really like and that's in good condition. Um, and then pretty much the steps are pretty much the same of what I did. You want to get your EIN. That's free, and it does. I mean, you can get it a year before you start. Like, there's no limit. Same with your LLC. I say get your LLC because that's what's going to motivate you to do what you got to do to get into this business. Once you pick your name, your business name, and you get that letter of formation, that's like, man, like I got something to work for now. Like it's done. Like I already got my business name. It's legit. Let's do it. Like it's no turning back from there. So I would say get your EIN and your LLC and also your registered agent. So all those kind of go together. You need all of them. You need your registered agent and EIN anyways. Get your LLC. And then next you want to purchase your van. So this is when you purchase your van. Actually your van and your equipment. You're going to need it for the jobs you apply for. So if you're going to do load boards, you're going to hire a broker, dispatcher to book loads for you. They're going to need, when you apply, they're going to ask for your van dimensions and your equipment, and they're going to need pictures of it. This is a whole nother subject, whole nother video. I would not rent a van. Some people rent. I guess that's a safer way to try it out. Me personally, like I said, my heart is in it. Like when I buy a van, it just shows that I'm dedicated. When you rent, it's like, I'm not really sure. I don't like that. I feel like you're wasting money. Those payments that you're making, renting the van, you could have been making payments to lower the cost of your van. You know, like you're making payments on the van that you own. So that's another thing. You know, when you get in this business, you got to be all the way in it. Gig apps, regular insurance. Already said that. For load boards, brokers, they're going to require you to have that $1 million insurance. So if that's what you want to do right away, just know that insurance payment is going to be really high. I know this could sound overwhelming to some people, but you can do it. But like I said, the key is saving money. You have to have money to start. If you start broke, when you get that first insurance payment of $800 or $1,200, and then that car note all at the same time, and you don't have any money saved up and you're trying to work to make the money, don't do that to yourself. That's going to stress you out. You got to have startup money. Like that's just, I don't know anyone that could do it without startup money. You got to have some money to get started. Maybe even, like I said, $20,000 is kind of like the minimum. But I mean, the more, the better. So just think about that. Your monthly payments, they're going to be high. So it's going to take a while before you really start making money. And then FMCS, let me see, for authority. Oh, so you do not have to have an authority. Okay? You do not have to have your own authority. You can run loads without any authority. There's videos on YouTube about that. Check them out. That's an option for you as well. And like I just said earlier, what I'm trying to do is, I want to use my MC to hire drivers. So you don't need an authority. You could work under somebody else's authority. So keep that in mind. That will definitely save you some money. But just know that you will be required, if you have your own van, you will be required to have that $1 million policy. I don't know too many load boards that don't require that. And then, of course, all the other forms that I told you about earlier. So this video is way too damn long. I apologize, but I wanted to get this out because I'm just sharing the little bit of knowledge that I have so far. And I'm sure I left some stuff out, but, I got nothing but time. This is real life, daily posting, showing you exactly what's going on, what I'm doing, how much everything costs. expenses and all that. I will be posting another video similar to this with more information, but for now, I think I kind of at least gave you a little groundwork of, you know, what things might cost and how I think you should, you know, how much money you should have to start. That's most important. That startup money. Last tip before I close this out. So this is something I did. I was thinking about the startup costs before I started. And I knew I had $15,000 that I could spend, that I had already saved up. But I was like, you know what, let me try to save a little. Is there any way I can get more money? Man, GoFundMe. Put your business on GoFundMe. Explain to people what you're trying to do. And I'm telling you, I made a significant amount of money on GoFundMe from family, friends, strangers. You got to really put it out there, though. Go to GoFundMe. It's absolutely free. They only take like a small percentage, and that's going to help you. But a lot of people like donating to stuff like that. Like, you're trying to start your own business. Just make sure you explain exactly what you're trying to do, and try to take pictures. You know, maybe take a picture of the van you want to get, something like that. Post it. It works. Like, I just did it like as a long shot, and it worked. It helped me buy a lot of equipment and stuff. So it helped with my expenses. That's a huge tip I want to pass on. Start a GoFundMe for your business startup. All right, so I'll catch you on the next one, man. This video way too long. Sorry if you got bored and cut it off, but hopefully you learned something from it. I'll catch y'all on the next one.